Hail Biafra! This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please do subscribe, like, share, and comment. Media houses are on fire. What are they saying? How they declared our Prime Minister terrorist and wanted. And I ask, what happened to Mieti Allah, the killers of our time? What happens to Sheikh Game, who negotiate with terrorists? What happened to the governors in the north who negotiate with terrorists? Who know the whereabouts of the terrorists and refuse to curb it and nip it? Go and ask questions in Benue. People will be held on rampage for 3 days. Nobody, no police, no army, nobody will go for their help. And you call it a country, and then now you are hearing self-referendum, you are hearing we will defend our land, you now declare him wanted. The worst criminal on earth. Shame on you guys. Are you not the same person, the same country that held Mazinam Kano, and then the criminals are walking freely? That is Nigeria. Injustice. And that is what will kill Nigeria. Nigeria will never survive the injustices they are making against the Biafrans all over the world. And that is it. Okay, now I want to leave their conversation on TVC News. Join this conversation. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to TVC News at 7, and we're staying with security concerns across the country, where the military has declared one of the leaders of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Simon Ekpa, wanted. According to a statement by the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, Mr. Ekpa and other insurgents and criminals are wanted for undermining the security of the country. Mr. Ekpa, who is number 78 on the list, has been accused of secessionist agitations under IPOB. Military authorities also declared 96 other persons wanted alongside Simon Ekpa as efforts continue to track down those responsible for the murder of the military personnel who were on a peace mission in Okwama community of Delta State. A banner wanted suspected terrorists and their cohorts have been released, and the military says the banners would be deployed in strategic areas across the country for ease of recognition and the arrest of wanted persons. All right, now I have joining me to discuss this a retired police chief, DSP Eze Harrison. Good to have you on the news at this time. So now the military has declared lots of people wanted, including the leader of one of the leaders of proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Simon Ekpa. But talk to us about what you make of this. Why this move? You know, is it too late or is it too soon with the numbers being put out there by the military? What do you make of this?
The thing is that sometimes the way we approach some issues, the militaries who are said to be going on a peace mission, if it is a local and a panel security thing, it would have been the police that should have been sent on such peace mission. It is when it appears to be overwhelming the police team, that is when the military could join to mediate. All right? Now, in a panel security team, before the military will be asked to go for such a peacekeeping, it means it has defiled the operations of the police. But in this case, I don't know why the military should get involved in a squabble between two neighboring communities who are said to be land issues. All right? So to me, it is improper. It is not normal for the army to get involved. But the military are the force that should have been sent on this mission in that community, because the agency that is saddled with the internal security of the country has not weighed into the matter. So on that note, it is very wrong for the military to go for such a mission in the first place because it is an internal security thing. If there are no other underlying factors, the military in the first place, the army, are not supposed to get involved at this early stage because the police who are saddled with that responsibility has not been invited into it. And if the army so think to get involved, there are methodologies, there are systems, there are tactical approach to some of these things.
Okay,
the
so
foreign communities have leaders. Have the leaders been called to see what is actually the problem? But such was not done. On the side of the iPod, Ekpa, and all of that, well, the young man is in Finland making noise. It should be up to Nigerian government to actually look into what is the problem in the southeastern Nigeria. And also, the presence of the federal government is not felt in the southeastern Nigeria. And these are some of the things that is leading to the agitations and so on and so forth. So that is what I could make of all this, because every other thing are sensitive security issues that we would not want to dabble into this hour.
right. With that being said, what other approach would you propose that this situation or this situation rather should be handled? You know, we just understand that the military has declared 96 persons wanted in connection to terrorist activities in the country. Ekpa has been included. But what would you make, or what are your thoughts generally on how it's been put out there, and what do you think should be a strategic approach to address some of the concerns you also highlighted?
Now, look at this. Now, Ekpa, to me, is not a terrorist. He is an agitator. Until we begin to put a difference between those who are agitating for something and those who are actually terrorists. Now, we know those that are terrorist group leaders in the country, and nothing positive has been done to quell the activities of those that are known to be terrorists, and so on and so forth. I don't see Ekpa as a terrorist. I see him as an agitator. I see Nnamdi Kanu as an agitator, and several other ethnic groups that are agitating for one thing or the other, which, to me, the federal government should have sit back, have a roundtable talk, and discuss with these people to find out what are their grievances, why are they agitating, and what are they agitating for. These and more other ways could be adopted so that we'll be able to live in harmony as one nation. So, including Ekpa in the list of those 96 or thereabout terrorists that have been listed by the government, I don't see that as I don't see him being a part of that terrorist group. He's an agitator. He is asking for something. The federal government should look into what is the reason why he is asking for what he is asking for. And when that is looked into, then it could be resolved. We could have a roundtable discussion, and all those issues will be resolved. I don't think there is anybody who wants to break away from Nigeria, but I think they're asking that there should be more presence of the federal government activities and agencies in the other neglected.
All right. Well, that's where we have to leave it for now. Thank you so much, DS.
Okay, you heard the guy very loud and clear. He said Ekpa is not a terrorist, but he happened to be the number one they listed from Southeast. Yes, so what about Boko Haram terrorists? Today I read from Nigerian paper that the military are ready to release 200 repentant Boko Haram. They are releasing them because they are being reduced in number. You know, when we call the men in uniform terrorists in uniform, I think it's a joke. But by the time Biafran army or any group reduce them in number, you hear them release more terrorists. They call them repentant terrorists. They don't even hide it. All right, they don't even know how to play the game at all. They won't even give like 3 months before they will release repentant Boko Haram, or even 6 months. No, they will immediately replace the killed ones with repentant Boko Haram. And these are the people wearing Nigerian army uniform in the name of "we are your soldiers." Say, you are making mistakes if you call those men in uniform soldiers. We are only living by the grace of God in Nigeria. The men you see with guns and Nigerian army uniform are terrorists in uniform. Simple and short. If you pass them on the way and they did not shoot you, you know that God has shown you one grace. Please take it that way. All right. If they didn't shoot you when you pass, know that you have just passed one set of deaths like that. Because these are the people that enter communities and they start shooting sporadically, they start killing people. They start unprovoked, they will start provoking people. And now that people have their antidote, people have something that they will do to Nigerian army like this and they will die in mass. They start crying and they will go immediately and release more touts, more repentant Boko Haram and give them uniform, deploy them still in the southeast or south. All right? That is the modus operandi of Nigerian government, especially the Muslim tickets. That's how they do. All right, please help us to share. We are on the board. We know what we are doing. Keep sharing. Keep understanding us. Information is power. Please, information karaha. That is the only thing that make you higher than them all. All right. Thank you very much for your time on this very channel. It will never ever be taken for granted. God bless you.